Good morning. It's Wednesday Wisdom, and we are here on Women of Light Movement. And if you're watching on another platform, we'd love you to say hello in that platform as well. And we're here with the beautiful Natalie Thomas. And Natalie and I only just met a couple of weeks ago at a market. She was doing a market stall, and I'm always on the lookout for women that shine and that are shining their light. And so Natalie stood out, and so I asked her if she'd like to do an interview with me. So good morning, Natalie.
Good morning. Thank you so much, and thank you for the kind words.
Yeah, I loved your stall, and so and as I said, out of the crowd, you sort of stood out as someone that was in their creative spirit. So I thought, let's get her on so that we can find out a little bit more about what's happening in Australia, like what's going on in our area that we might be able to promote and to explore and get ideas from. So tell us a little bit about you and how you started your beautiful products.
Of course. Thank you so much. Well, you definitely caught me, and I think I was in my element. It was first ever market, and it's a goal that I've actually had pretty much my whole life, and I was just at peak happiness. So you really, really caught me. And I still am. I'm still riding the high. Like it was such a nice feeling to accomplish something that I really have set my mind to. So it's a bit about me. So I am a graphic designer. That's what I've been doing for the last 14 years. That's my trade. I did visual communication. I did my honours. I went straight over after I finished that, moved to London for 5.5 years, worked there, travelled, freelanced, was sponsored over there, met my now current husband who's English, brought him back over. And I've worked a variety of jobs, ranging from corporate to, freelancing all throughout different agencies. I was a greeting card illustrator as well. So
wow.
So, yeah, like
a bit of diversity there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And, illustration is always when I was at school, I was never sure if I wanted to do something to do with art or design. I was kind of caught in between the two. Design was where the work was, but art is what I loved. And I was always, and design has been so great for me, and it's really been able to, provide a life that I've really enjoyed living. And it's been great, but I have always had this niggle for the art side. And the art it's work that's for me. And it's for me. It's not being briefed for anyone else's reason. It's creating for me. And I have had this niggle, and I think in the last couple of years with just lockdowns and COVID, it's just really all made us go inwards and think, who are we? What are we? What do we want? What do we want on this earth? If our days are numbered, because there was a few hot minutes there where we didn't know what was happening. Is this where we want to be, and are we feeling fulfilled? And I couldn't wholeheartedly say yes, to be honest. I was content and happy and grateful, but there was always this little side of me that, I would see people starting their own businesses and really fulfilling themselves. And I would always, just get that little pang of, I think
wonder what that would be like.
I did, and didn't really know what it looked like. I've read a lot of books on purpose and fulfillment, and it all really it's always one of those things where it always seems so simple afterwards, because I'm quite a perfectionist, high achiever, detail oriented person. So I was going in with all the mind maps and the plans, and I really just had to draw it back to, well, what is it I like? I like art and design. I always have, and I always do. And bringing it back to that, it was going back to go, well, I love illustration. I love, in my card days, I used to write all the puns and the jokes. I've got a little cheeky sense of humor, let's just say.
Yeah. Well, you see it in your designs, right? Like you've got a little tiny bit of that in your earrings here that you've got on.
Always have. I just think, especially again, like I think COVID was, as horrible and awful as it's been, I think it we couldn't change that, but what can we bring out of that? And I was like, you know what, we could do with a bit of laughter, we could do with a bit of light, a bit of brightness, a bit of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Yeah, and I think that combined with my art and design, that's what I've seeked out to do. So so that was really the birth of my business called November Tango, which is the phonetic alphabets of my initials, NT, Natalie Thomas. Just thought again, a bit more fun, why not?
Yeah.
And under that, it's really an array of me and design. So I use my graphic design skills. So I illustrate using a Wacom digital tablet, which, is using all my design programs. So all my years of, work has not gone astray. They're not out.
You've got it. Yeah. Isn't it always great to have that back burner, like that on the... Yeah.
And it's all really come into play, and it's all really, again, it's all, it's the skills that I've used and I've honed and I've really polished and worked on and to create. So I have a range, and I'm, especially, and I love doing the greeting cards. That was a great few years, but I was always a little bit sad when, they're disposable, like people don't keep their greetings. Some people do. I know I do. I keep my greeting cards, but, and just as life goes, some people recycle them, which is great. But I was like, oh, these are designs that I think are really cool. I really like them. But what a ways to have these designs that are still usable and are still in use.
And thrown away.
Yeah. So my range, as it currently stands, are art prints, mugs, microfiber towels, which can be tea towels, gym towels, towels for your pets, and usability there. And I'm just about to release a new product of oven mitts as well.
Awesome.
Which are arriving this week, actually. So
yeah,
it's really exciting. And everything I do, look, and as I said, every house, every play, everyone's got their own taste, which I love, and some people are very neutral and, like that palette, and that's so nice. And I love life is all about the variety. But for those people who do like myself, I love to express my personality at my home. We're at home so much now. And I think it's just so nice when, you have a cup of tea or you're using something and it just makes you giggle. It just makes you laugh. It just, and I'm like, tea towels, if a tea towel can make you laugh, I'm doing my job.
Yeah, that's right. So, and I remember my daughter and I coming to your stall. Actually was the first one. Actually, it was the second one. We saw something and went, yep, we're gonna get that. And then we, gravitated to your stall because it was so bright and colourful, and there was so much to explore on there, So you don't happen to have anything there with you at the moment?
I do. Well, I can actually show you. This is very brand new. My oven mitts that have this is the sample, and they're arriving, I think, today or tomorrow. So these are my oven mitts, but they are called oven tits. with little flame nipples on the edges. Yeah. And so when you put your hands in them, and then on the other side, it's got my trademark squiggles. So nice and bright, nice and funny.
Yeah.
Really nice.
They're beautiful
too. And again, it's that I'm, everything that I'm doing, I'm trying to do for nice quality. Everything, is to have is that these are made with 100% certified organic cotton as well, which I've chosen to pay extra for things like that because they're my values. I'm really trying to do my bit for, from the environmental side of things, and to really, have things that last and have things that are quality as well. Because,
yeah, absolutely. And, isn't it interesting, because I think that even the mainstream who, quantity over quality has been, conditioned into people, right? Let's do all the discount stores and all that sort of stuff, are starting to recognise and come back to, well, actually, I want things that are uniquely for me, that, I know someone's put their soul into, and, it's got a meaning to it. It's not just something on a production line. It's actually got, that quality to it, as you said, and someone's put thought into it and expression into it,
Exactly. And this is it. Like, it's an expression of me, and not to say I go around just saying oven tits and puns and things like that, but for people who know me, I like to laugh, and I'm not a comedian at any point, but I love, it's almost having a conversation with someone. Like I'm starting a conversation by creating a pun or creating an illustration or something.
Yeah. And also how you know, what an opportunity to create a conversation in the kitchen when, you know, like, because, you know, oh, that's a crazy hand mitt. You know, oh, yeah, I got it at, you know, Roselle, the cannery markets,
Yes.
and this is what I did. And yeah, that's right. You know, like,
Exactly.
and it sort of creates conversation within the household as well, right?
Absolutely. And it's a story. Like you know, from a nostalgic point of view, I think it's really nice. It helps create connections. Like I know, your parents' home, you know, they have those, you know, whether it's tea towels or a certain mug or something that's always been in the family, and it's the favorite mug, and it creates story, and it creates, you know, like it's just something that I feel, you know, and there's so many amazing designers and creators and artists out there, but the beauty of it is that we tend to have more than one mug or tea towel. So
yeah, that's right.
We've got, you know, and you know, there's things that they can, you know, be passed on when people, you know, move out of home and people have kids, and then they, you know, I know me, I've got like some mugs in my cupboard that are, you know, from my mum's, and it's just really nice that
I know, same here.
yeah. And they ignite memories, and they ignite stories, and you know, you create connections with things, and the beauty of these things, everything that I do, I, you know, try to have that's, you know, usable or functional, so it's not just a dust collector, or, you know, especially in our Mary Kondo living, you know, and you know, a lot of us, you know, myself included, like I'm in a flat, I don't have a lot of, you know, storage for, you know, big beautiful pieces. So what's a way to bring in art and functionality?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So,
and what great gifts as well, right? Like to give something, as you said, to create laughter is essential at the moment. We've got so much going on. Even now, you know, there's still that, you know, aftermath happening, and you know, we're still in the throes of whatever this whole thing is, and so to create as much laughter at any given time is essential to, you know, elevating the spirit and keeping us, you know, on our path. So yeah, I think it's a really great idea, and so colourful. There was you don't have your fibre.
The tea towels. Oh yes, give me 1 second.
Yeah, I'd love to show the community.
I literally have to just duck to the kitchen to get my tea towel, because that's where I live. So this one here is my snag queen. So so we've got snag queen here, and this is a little drag queen and a little sausage sandwich.
Yeah, fantastic. So, and they're microfiber, right? So they're absorbent. Yeah.
Super absorbent, super really quick drying as well. So especially in this cold, when things aren't drying as much, they really do. You just, you know, when you have things that are just like they get a bit crumpled up and they just stay wet, it really dries really, really quickly. And it's actually really good because it's microfiber. It takes all the little grubby marks and things off, like your cutlery and your
off your glasses. Yeah.
And this is it. Like it is really versatile. And this is why I don't just limit them to tea towels. I'm using, because I have one as a tea towel. I have one actually as a hair towel. I actually have curly hair, and for me, it's really good to scrunch my curly hair. Got one for my dog Yoda, who's just having a little morning snooze there after all the rain, again, because it's quick drying. I don't have these heavy, you know, towels getting all, you know, smelly and things like that. And yeah, I mean, I don't go to the gym, but my friends use them as a gym towel as well, because again, they're super compact, go out really tightly, and they dry quick.
Yeah.
So, and it was at that functionality. So I really put a lot of thought into something that again has usability, multi-use function, and again, just fun.
Yeah, and bringing color into, you know, like, you know, any room that you know, you're using, or, you know, like to, you know, I go to the gym, and I know that you know, you see the towels, and like everyone's got a towel, right? To have something that's expressing who you are, you know, and have a bit of color is you know, it's that creativity again, isn't it? It's you using it as an expression of yourself as well.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's and variety is the spice of life, and that's the thing. Like not everyone has to be bright, colorful, and that's okay. But for those who do, that's that's who, you know, my customers are and who my audience are. And it was just so nice, especially, you know, like yourself and your daughter at the market, like even, you know, people just coming up and you can just see them, you know, as they giggle. It's you know, there's a smile and they're just like, oh my gosh, someone actually did this. Like I have a design that was also very popular, which you would remember, of the classic iced Vovo biscuit that we have in Australia. And I have, again, just the way my brain works, I was like, oh, I know what that reminds me of. And I made it into an iced vulva design, so, which is really, really fun. And I think, and again, they're a little bit cheap, a little bit, there was a little part of me that was wondering, oh, we might, you know, understandably, if there's going to be some people maybe a little bit offended or a little bit more conservative thing. There was not one person that whole market over 2 days who did anything but smile or laugh, and all ages, demographics. And I think that was really, really refreshing, that people are, you know, just you know, open and are welcoming to new ideas and, you know, different way of thinking. And yeah, it was really refreshing and really really, it was very inspiring as well, to be like, wow, this is, you know, this is doing well, and I've got more ideas that are going to be coming. And yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. And the thing is too, right, I think as a society, we're starting to let down those, you know, that you know, whether it's appropriate, women are allowed to express themselves, you know. And you know, there's a I don't know if you've got Netflix, but there's a Netflix documentary with Gwyneth Paltrow called Sex, Love and Goop.
I've seen that. Very cool. Yeah.
Well, one of my friends and clients, she actually works with Jaya, which she's, you know, like she's a Roddy Blueprint coach. And so, we've had her on here on Women of Light, doing a 7-day self-nurturing challenge. So, cool. You know, it's important to be okay with who we are, like, and to acknowledge that, you know, this is who we are, and there's nothing wrong with those parts of ourselves. And, you know, like, let's not take life so seriously, as you said, with, you know, everything going on with the last couple of years, you know, the dramatic, you know, how serious it all became. And like it sort of moves us back into, well, wait a minute, as you said, how long am I here for? Have I achieved everything, or have I experienced everything that I want to experience? And have I laughed enough? Like, you know, like, am I actually enjoying the moments that, you know, the bits in between, you know?
Absolutely. And I think, end of the day, you know, we're not leaving here with anything. We're not leaving here with, you know, and I think, you know, it's about just enjoying the moment and enjoying the things that, if you know, using your words, that light us up, that, you know, bring it's about bringing joy, creating joy, and creating connections as well. Like, I think that's it. And as you say, whether people buying someone a gift, and then that's an immediate connection, so when that person uses an item, they're thinking of their friend. And I just think it really instills a lot of positivity, just in different ways, that I think we do it all the time. But I think I just found a way, because I think of the 5 languages. I'm the things are the gifts of service. So, like, you know, I like doing things with people and, you know, making them happy and you know, creating that, and that lights me up. And I think, you know, so that's why I feel like, you know, I'm providing that opportunity for people as well, which makes me really happy.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And so you'll put all your details, all the information of how to check out your website, and I'm assuming you've got Instagram and
yes. I would love it if you want some giggles in your week. Please follow. As I said, like, just with and I have those other mitts, which is, this is a very first look at them. They're not even on my Instagram yet. They're coming soon, so stay tuned.
Awesome.
If you want to be able to purchase those, and I've got the mugs and the microfiber towels and the prints and all sorts as well. And just to know when my next markets are as well. So
awesome. For those that are in Sydney, and the cannery is such an amazing place. Like I enjoy going there. It just so like my son lives up the road.
Oh, great. Yeah.
And so we went to go to that kitchen shop and then went, the markets are on. So, so it was a great afternoon.
And undercover in this weather. It's like,
absolutely.
No, it's a beautiful atmosphere, like live music, and especially meeting other store holders as well. I think, again, like just, they've gone through a lot of hardship, and it's, there's been a lot of months and, that were missed through this. So I think there's that extra zing of energy as well, that, there's a lot of gratitude in the air. There's a lot of, like there was something just really. It
was a nice vibe in there, absolutely.
It really was. And I've actually just got accepted into the Sydney Made markets as well, which are happening in a month on July 16th in Town Hall. So that will be an indoor one. But there used to be these Etsy Made markets, and they've rebranded to Sydney Made. So they're and they haven't been on for 2 years. So this is the first time in 2 years that they'll be on. So
wow. So what's it called?
Sydney Made.
Sydney Made.
Yeah. Sydney Made markets, and they're in Town Hall on the 16th of July. So
16th of July. Awesome.
Yeah.
I'll have to see you there.
Yes, I'll be there, and I think I'll be at Rosebery again. So the first that's the first weekend of every month as well. So I think the 3rd of July is the next one. So
awesome.
I'm really, really excited, and it was so lovely to meet people like yourself and your daughter, just who are just love to chat to people, like I still freelance on the side as well, just again, like just to keep both sides of my brain ticking. And I think it's really about working from home is, I love it, and it's great. I've got Yoda myself to keep me company, but it is really, really lovely to meet people in person and just to gauge, and that's what it's about. It's about connections and relationships and understanding. And I think it's
so true. And so Natalie, I'm now starting to remember, because for a while I totally forgot. I want to ask you, what piece of advice did you get that you remember, like that really stood out in your life? What is something that you've really enjoyed and kept to your heart?
So I had a good think about this one, and again, it all just goes back to the start, and it's one of the first pieces of advice I actually received, and it's the quote that says, everything is okay in the end, and if it's not okay, it's not the end. And that's really been really powerful and really helpful for me in just in various stages, not just work related, in personal stages as well. And I think and it's true, it's one of those things that just keeps you going, no matter what hardships you encounter, no matter if you're in the trenches, if you're in the thick of it. It's a reminder that there's ebbs and flows in life, and it is the roller coaster. What goes down must come up, and vice versa, and that's okay. And no matter how good or how not good things are, it will change, and that's okay. And then it will change again. And I think it's that reminder, for as long as we're breathing and as long as we're alive, it will be okay.
Keep creating, keep having fun, and keep learning,
exactly. And no matter, even if you're in a path that doesn't, that you're feeling, again, when I was in a little bit of a like, what am I doing, what is all this, like, just know that where you are will lead you to where you want to be, and just keep putting the one foot in front of the other. And
absolutely, I love that. I love it. Absolutely. I totally agree. And I've never actually heard that quote before. And if it's, it's not the end, like if it's just keep going, I love that. Because it's so true, right? You can really feel when something's complete and you've learned from it, and then you move on to the next thing. But it's life is a constant ebb and flow, and you may as well put your seatbelt on. I've got a girlfriend over in America that we used to say, we're riding the rug.
Absolutely. I like it, and interpret that however you will, but yes, it's like, it's true, like it is, you're right, it's like the wave, it's anything like that. And and it is a ride. It is one big ride. Like I love, you know, when you read things from, you know, elderly people, like I'm very lucky to have got one grandparent left, and, you know, and she's 90 this year, and just, you know, hearing she's, you know, been through the Holocaust, been through so much, and just, you know, hearing her wisdom of just like, you know, it's just like when you get to a stage, it's like it all doesn't matter. It just all doesn't matter what matters, you know, and so you may as well just do what you want to do, and do what's right for you, because everyone has their own life, everyone has their own opportunities. So you do yours as best you can, and it is a ride, and hopefully you know, the people you want to will come along with it with you.
Yeah, absolutely. You know? And even if they don't, then that's okay too, right?
Exactly. That's what I mean. Hopefully they do. But at the end of the day, you have to do if everyone do you for them, and if people come along, great, and that's okay. People come on and off, and that's okay. And at the end of the day, it's, you know, it's our journey. Yeah,
absolutely. I love that. Well, it's been a pleasure to chat with you again, and I'll definitely see you at the Sydney markets.
Yes, lovely. Oh,
yeah, I think it'd be really interesting to do it in town hall, and
again indoors.
Yes, absolutely, with this weather. So true.
Warm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Well, take care, hun, and lovely to have you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity and the platform as well. I really appreciate it. It's been so lovely to chat and, you know, have a reflection. You know, you don't, you know, think about these things very often, so it's been really lovely as well. So, and yes, I'll pop those details in the chat afterwards as well.
Yeah, awesome. And take care, and everyone. Love to hear your comments. Would love to get some feedback. What you thought of Natalie's products as well, because she's only just shown you a little tiny bit. Definitely click on her link.
There's more to come and more to come. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful day. You too. See ya.